Diana, who wants to share some experience as an atheist parent with 4 children. Okay, you have my admiration right there. Okay, Mark, can you hear us? You're on with Mandisa, Janet, and Claire on Parenting Beyond Belief.
Hello, how are you all?
Oh, I'm great. How about you?
Great.
All right. First of all, congratulations on the new show.
Thank you.
Glad to see you guys on.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
think the show will be really beneficial to a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you. Be sure to subscribe.
I will.
Right.
So just a quick story and then a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm atheist. My wife is a believer, but she doesn't formally practice any kind of religion. She just believes. I've shared with my children my views on religion, but I haven't, imposed my view on my kids, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I've kind of let them, ask their questions. They've even gone to church a few times with various families in the neighborhood and things like that. My oldest daughter is now 20, but when she was younger, about I think 14 or 15, maybe 16, she did have a friend who was in a religious family. Her friend's father, I believe, was actually a preacher in one of the local churches around here. They had been friends for almost their entire school year. But then towards the end of the school year, her friend told my daughter that she was going to be going to a different school, a Christian school, and that they can no longer be friends because even though my daughter had gone to church with them and stuff a couple times, she wasn't religious.
Right.
And her parents had actually advised her to break off the friendship.
Oh dear.
When this happened, her friend actually handed her some religious literature dealing with abstinence and remaining a virgin and why God wants you to.
Lordy.
And even though, my daughter at the time was not sexually active or anything like that. And so when my daughter and her other friend, because she kind of split it off with both of them, when they related to me the story, I kind of didn't know what to say. I was like, the only thing I could really say was, well, I'm really sorry this happened to you, sweetheart. If you want to talk about it, I'm here for you. Things like that. So my question to the three of you would be, what advice would you give to a parent who has a child that loses a friend because of their or their family's religious beliefs?
I would take a cue from my friend Katie Malinsky, who has taught me how to handle a lot of these really hard things. We put all of our stuff on our kids pretty easily. And the first thing is to check in and say, so this happened. How is that feeling? How are you dealing with that? And they may say, well, it's okay because I've got Susie and Johnny and all these other kids, and she really, maybe we were best friends, but blah, blah, blah. Or she may be despondent for days. And finding out where she is on that spectrum is important, because if it's not a big deal to her, there's no need for us to foist all of this deep and heavy meaning on it. But if it is a big deal, it is our job to be that safety net that they need and help them digest what's happened and what it means and what it doesn't mean. And that's where I would put what to do in that case. Ladies?
It really makes me think about when my child lost a pet or a loved one, a grandparent. When you lose someone from your life like that, it's there's a type of mourning that happens. There's grief, and I think I would just see it in the same way as if it was almost like a death. Mm-hmm. And so I know that when that has happened in our family, sometimes it's helpful to perform rituals, sometimes just to, like, write a letter that you may never send to the person, or talk about what the person meant to you. It's kind of similar as you might, you know, if there was a death, and it really there very well could be grief there that just has to be attended to.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a teachable moment, because no matter where you are in life, people break off relationships for all sorts of reasons, and it's one of those things that we all have to learn how to cope with. It may not be religion, it could be any number of things, but Mandisa, what do you think?
Well, part of me would just want to go and just give that parent a piece of my mind, or just, curse them out, because clearly it is a parental influence there that has come in between the friendship of these, of these kids. And I just think that is just so, even as teenagers, we've gone through our changes, but that something like that just really sounds like such a strong parental influence that, they are, the other child is being forced in this situation. And I would really want to, tell the adult off, but that might be a bit
That's kind of what I really wanted to do, but
yeah.
I've been to their house before, but I knew better than to drive up and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, I think that's not a situation that can be changed.
I know, but it is so tempting, because it's like, oh my gosh, like you are really hurting these kids.
Mm-hmm.
You really are. But the best thing I would agree with Claire and Jan would just be to really offer your support, for your child, and just reassure them that, there is nothing that they did wrong.
Yeah,
there is nothing that your child did wrong. That is not on them. And even though it may feel like it right now, that she or he is still a very good person, and that they will find other friends, even if, and it's okay. It's okay for them to hurt. It's okay for them to be upset. It's okay for them to process it. And maybe one day, the child may come back. Maybe they may realize that they made a mistake. You can only hold out so much hope. But definitely reassure your child that they are not at fault here.
Yeah. And I would ask, make sure she doesn't write off anybody who is religious as a potential friend. I have a friend that I've known since we were both in diapers. She is deeply religious, and I am clearly deeply not. And we're still great friends. We get together, and we've known each other for more than 50 years. So religion doesn't have to be that way, but it certainly can be, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I mean, I've kind of expressed to them that, I've always expressed to them it's okay if they believe. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to condemn them for it.
Right.
And that's what I try to imply for them to treat others as well.
Right. Yep. I hope that helped.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your call, Mark. I really appreciate it.
That's an important issue.
Hey, I appreciate you guys too.
Right.
You have a great night.
All too common. You too.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay.